Welcome back to another Chef Knives to Go quick look product review, and what we have this time is the Tojiro Aogami or blue steel Deba 165mm. Just for clarification, the model number is F-976. So this is a two-layer construction. It is a single bevel right-handers oriented blade. It is kind of a chisel grind, so it's not a double bevel blade. The cutting edge steel, the core steel, is Aogami or blue paper number 2, reactive high carbon steel. Heat treat on that's typically around 62 Rockwell. So what they do is on the right side of the blade as you'd be holding it, this is a right-hander's knife. They've clad that in soft iron, and that does wrap over the top of the spine and covers the back side of the blade, the left side just a little bit as well. So it's a two-layer construction. Weight and dimensions will vary a little bit from knife to knife, but as you probably know if you're watching this video, the Deba is used to process fish, so it's a stiff, heavy, thick blade with a pronounced, single bevel grind to it. That's its purpose. So the weight is 275 grams or 9.7 ounces on this sample. Edge length about 170, 171 millimeter, and the overall length about 312 millimeters. Spine thickness on this sample is about 7.5 millimeters coming out of the handle, and then about 7 halfway down the blade. And it loses a little bit as you kind of get towards the grind, and then you can see it thins out at the very, very tip with the grind. Here's a really good example of chisel grind on the choil shot. It's a little hard to tell sometimes until you get these on the stones and start seeing how nicely consistent the contour of the blade road or this, primary edge was created, but these seem pretty well made. They're pretty straight. The grind seems pretty good. They're pretty sharp out of the box. They've got a small micro bevel or an actual edge bevel on top of the primary bevel right here. You can kind of see that shiny part right there where my thumb is. We'll get our beauty shot while we're at it. The height on this one is 54.1. These are typically tall. And the handle is a D-shaped, right-hand oriented hoe wood with a resin plastic ferrule with just a little bit of texture, kind of rubbery texture to it. And then you've got a little step between the wood because this ferrule is a sleeve that comes over the top, so that's pretty normal fit and finish wise. Circumference is about 74 millimeters or 2.9 inches where the wood right before it goes to the ferrule. And you can see you've got a spot here for your finger for a pinch grip, or if you want to put your finger there if you're depends on how you like to hold these knives and use them. I'm no expert on the Deba. And again, I'm a lefty. This is a right-hand oriented blade. So the contour here from a fit and finish standpoint is on where you'd have your right hand hold coming into it. The fit and finish is pretty darn nice on these. And as I said, they seem pretty well made. They've got hand engraved kanji, really nicely done. You can feel that when you run your finger across them. You can see them, the finish marks on diagonal on this, and then you've got a good looking kind of Kusumi style or cloud finish showing the core steel, the cladding right there, and the differentiation between the two. The back side of these blades, in this case the left side for a right hand blade, is slightly hollow ground, and that's to reduce food suction and sticking when you're processing the fish. And the perimeter around here has been abraded away. That's the way you sharpen the back side, is lay it flat on the stone to remove that burr that you might develop from the front side sharpening. A little bit of a small embossed kanji on the back side of the blade, in this case the left side. But nicely finished, no sharp edges anywhere. Let's see, balance point. I didn't do that on the 150. We're typically not that worried about the balance point on these, but there it is if you're interested. And then I don't usually do a cutting board demo on there because these are really not made for that. They're not really for on-board use. But anyway, really nice offering from Chef Knives to Go. So this is the Tojiro Aogami or blue steel Deba, a 165mm model F976.